Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today is another declutter. I have here 20 fragrances, actually more than 20 fragrances that I decluttered from my fragrance collection. Most of these fragrances are beautiful fragrances. There's nothing wrong with them, but I just felt that they don't belong in my collection for one reason or another. So if you want to see what I decluttered and why, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. And before I start, I have to be honest. I decluttered these fragrances quite a while ago. So I hinted at decluttering some of these fragrances actually when I shared my fragrance collection. If you didn't see that video, you will find it in the description down below and in the eye up here if you want to see all my fragrance collection. And also I will leave linked the previous declutters that I did where I got rid of more than 50 fragrances. Shortly after that video, I wanted to reorganize my fragrance collection, and suddenly I felt like some fragrances do not belong. I don't know if you have the same, but I just get this urge to declutter sometimes, or I feel bothered by some items in my closet for some reason or another, and I just can't wait. I have to do it immediately. So I went ahead and decluttered all the fragrances. Some you will see in upcoming videos actually, because I filmed that long time ago and I didn't upload it yet, like comparison videos and some I still have to film. Actually, it's only 2 fragrances here, or maybe 3, that I still have to include in a video that I didn't film yet. So that explains maybe some discrepancies in some videos when you will see me showing some fragrances that I am now decluttering. So without further ado, let's start with the first one, which is a fragrance that I actually would not recommend. This is a Jumbo Gaultier Le Beau. I bought this one because I was on the hunt for unisex fragrances, or men fragrances that are totally unisex. And I found that this was mentioned as one of the fragrances that are totally unisex, and it is, but I mean, no, this fragrance for me is one of the most obnoxious fragrances that I've ever smelled. I don't like it and I wouldn't recommend it at all. It has coconut in the note, but the whole composition is just not good. In my personal opinion, it's just too juvenile, too synthetic, I don't know. It's just awful. So Le Beau is going. Another Jumbo Gaultier that actually I like, but I found myself not reaching for it, and that is Jumbo Gaultier Le Parfum, La Belle Le Parfum. So it's a really gorgeous scent actually, but I found myself always reaching for the original La Belle over this one. It could be the tonka bean here. I found myself struggling with tonka bean recently. Tonka bean just is now too dusty to my nose for some reason. And I am keeping more fragrances that have tonka bean. But since I bought this one, I'm always grabbing the original one over this. I mean, it's more than a year now, so I think this is not for me, but the scent is absolutely beautiful. It's more of an intense, deeper version of the original. It's not so simple, it's more complex. It has tonka bean, it has a little bit of this berry cherry feeling to it. It's really gorgeous and I highly recommend it. Next we have also from Jumbo Gaultier, Scandale à Paris. Again, a fragrance that is really good. It's a hint of the original DNA of Scandale, but mixed with jasmine. A very strong jasmine. And I don't know, I don't reach for this fragrance. As you can see, it's almost full. Rumor has it that it is discontinued, as well as by night, by the way. Since I'm not using it, I prefer for this fragrance to go to someone who really appreciates it and wears it. So that was a Scandale à Paris. Next we have Kilian Boys, and as you can see, they are all in their boxes because I actually filmed this declutter way before, and I don't know, I lost it. So this is why everything is in its box. Kilian Boys by Kilian is a very unique scent. It has a Coca-Cola note, which I absolutely adore. It's beautiful in this fragrance, but again, I am not reaching for it. I wore it last year maybe once or twice, so I'm afraid, again, with such a big collection, that this one will go bad even before reaching half of the bottle. So although I like this fragrance, I think it has no place in my collection now. It's actually discontinued. All this line is discontinued, but I think I saw some bottles, more of the Kilian, you know, square bottles of Princess. So maybe Kilian is coming back with the collection, but not in Sephora anymore. I don't know. Tell me in the comments down below what is happening exactly with Kilian. Now let's get to these two. This is from Maison Lancôme. The first one here is Figue et Agrumes. This one I struggled a little bit because I actually really like the scent, but can you see? I have this now for quite a while and I rarely used it. Every time I want a fig fragrance, I always go to my Acqua di Parma Fico di Amalfi instead of this one. So although it's really nice, but I'm not reaching for it, so it's going to go. It's a citrusy fresh fig fragrance. Next one I've never loved. It was a blind buy and I tried to love it, but I just can't. I don't like this scent at all. I think it's discontinued now. And also the reason why I kept it, because I love the bottle, I have to admit. The Maison Lancôme fragrances are just to die for. And this is rose, magnolia and musk. It's kind of an ambery rose, but still fresh. It's very unique. It's one of these unique fragrances from Maison Lancôme that they are discontinuing, but it's not my vibe at all. So I never loved this one. I only kept it because of the bottle, and this is not a reason to keep a fragrance. So I'm decluttering this one. It will be really hard to see these two going out of my collection, but it's ridiculous to keep them only for the bottle. Now let's go to Guerlain. This is Santal Royal. I don't know. I actually really liked this fragrance in the store. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Now, this fragrance is definitely not for the faint of heart. It's quite heavy oud and sandalwood. And actually, I get more ouds and sandalwood here. But objectively speaking, it's gorgeous. It's really beautiful. But I am not the person to wear this fragrance. It doesn't suit me, and it doesn't suit anyone that I know. But I can imagine this fragrance on a man in a suit. Confidence in a bottle. It's definitely more on the masculine side. So I fell in love with the fragrance itself, but wearing it is another experience. So I'm getting rid of this. Another blind buy here is Azzaro Wanted Girl by Night. Now this is quite a unique fragrance. This smells like grapes. It's creamy, it's a little bit powdery, and I mainly bought it because it has a particular note that I associate with my childhood. and that is Queen of the Night, or it has another name also in Fragrantica. I will write it here. And I was totally disappointed because it does not smell like that flower at all. I mean, I talked about this note and this flower previously in my life in fragrances. If you want to see that video, you will find it in the description down below and also in the eye up here. I went through notes and fragrances that represent my life in a way. So if you are curious also about this flower, you will find it in that video. And it doesn't smell like it. It smells like, as I said, a creamy, slightly powdery grapes fragrance. Yes, and there's no grapes in the notes. So it's actually quite a nice fragrance, but again, it's not me. For the same reason, I have bought another fragrance and was a blind buy, and that is Alien Flora Futura. Again, has in the notes the same flower, but doesn't smell like it. I mean, it's really difficult to have a natural smelling fragrance of that flower. It's a fresh floral fragrance that is just okay. And it's very, very Mugler-like, so it's a little bit sharp and a little bit out there. I don't know, I don't like it, and it's not like I dislike it, but again, I have many fragrances that I love. Why keeping this one? Next, Salvatore Ferragamo, Amo Ferragamo per lei. And this is a fresh pear fragrance. And I don't know what's going on. This fragrance I had on my wish list for the longest time. And I kept on spraying this fragrance every single time I find it in the store. And I loved it. But I think there was already an indication for me that I didn't buy it. So I loved it, but I found it too pricey for what it is. So when I found a deal, I got it and I didn't use it. No, I used it only once. Next, we have Narciso Eau de Parfum CRISTAL. This is a very, very nice fragrance. I have a full review on it. You will find it again in the description and in the eye. And this is quite a departure of the regular Narciso fragrances. It's definitely very mass-pleasing, very sweet and floral, and again, there is nothing wrong with this fragrance, but I have so many fresh musky florals. This one just doesn't do it for me. I actually thought about keeping it since it's like a 30 ml and just use it up because I actually like the scent. It's nice. But again, I found myself not reaching for it, so it's an education. Next, Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. This is the new formulation, of course. And I bought this by mistake, actually. I thought I was getting the old formulation. And then I tried it and I thought, well, and I'm just smelling it now. It's nice. It's a really nice fragrance. But I found myself not wearing it. It's really nice. Is it masterpiece, groundbreaking, absolutely stunning fragrance? No, it's just a nice floral Dior-like fragrance, so it has this classy and elegance to it, but not for me. So also this one is going bye-bye. Next is a Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Italian Love. Now, again, a fragrance I have a review on. Check the description if you want to know about it. It's too similar to the original one. I mainly bought it to review it, and it's just meh. I didn't like this fragrance. If you want a full comparison and which light blue I would recommend, definitely check that video. So this one I also thought about like keeping it just to use it, but if I don't find anyone who wants to buy it, I will do just that in the summer as kind of an alternative to the original light blue and just finish it. Next we have my Burberry blush. Again, the same as Amo Ferragamo. I really like this fragrance. I tested it more than once, and every time I thought, man, this is a nice fragrance. Again, you have a pattern here. It was too expensive for what it is, in my opinion, so I waited and waited until I got it on a good deal, and now it's just sitting here and collecting dust. It's a very feminine, fresh, floral with a slight, there is also some fruits. I don't know, I don't remember, so it has a hint of fruitiness. It's slightly sweet. Nice fragrance, but I'm not reaching for it. Next is Irresistible from Givenchy. This is the eau de parfum. Now with this one I have a long story, or a love-hate relationship, let's say. Oh, not hate. We have some problems. So I adored this fragrance. Once it was released, I got it, and it is linked in my memory with the day that finally the lockdown lifted and I could go to the park. And I had this in my hand. I just got it. It was just delivered, so I got it in my hand. I then used it for a while during the spring, early spring, and then nothing. I've never used it. So I decluttered it. And since I decluttered it, I kept on craving this fragrance. I want it back. So thank God I didn't sell it. I just, after like a few months, I said, okay, it seems like I did a mistake and I really, really like this fragrance. So I got it back. How many times did I use it since I got it back? Maybe once, twice. Again, in early spring. And then they came out with a new version this year, the Eau Fresh, and I got it for a review, and I did a whole line review. Again, check the description. But again, I didn't use it, and I found myself liking the Eau Fresh more. This fragrance I can use in a very, very limited time. So early spring, which is like maximum a month. And it's the same issue with other fragrances I had that I decluttered last time. For example, the Chloé Nomade Absolu. It's the same. I use it in a very, very limited time, and that is autumn, like October, like now. And then I never use it, so I'm going to declutter this one. Next, I have some fragrances that I bought mainly to do a comparison video. The first one is Éclat de Fleur from Lanvin, and I mainly bought it to do a review or comparison between this one and Chanson Tendre from Chanel. I already filmed that video. I don't know if I will upload it before or after this one. If I did already upload it, you will find it again in the description. Next is Casablanca, and this one is quite hyped up for a reason, because it's very similar to another hyped up niche fragrance that is definitely more expensive than this one, and it's La Danza delle Libellule from Nubile 1942. I have a full comparison between the two. Again, I don't know if I will upload it before or after this video. If I did, check the description. So this smells like La Danza delle Libellule. Has the same vibe. So it's vanilla, it's sweet, there is caramel if I'm not mistaken, and it gives this apple pie vibe. The vanilla is definitely different here than in La Danza delle Libellule, and I definitely like more La Danza delle Libellule. So Casablanca from Swiss Arabian. Next, I have a fragrance that I used only once. Again, shocking, because I really liked it. But again, never used it. This is Acqua dell'Elba Archipelago, and it's a fresh, floral, musky scent. It has the same, not the same smell, but it has the same vibe like light blue. So this fragrances that, although they don't have like an aquatic note, they give you an aquatic feeling. It's very fresh, very summery, and I recently actually I got it this summer, and no, I am not using it, so I am decluttering it. I am trying to be a little bit more cutthroat, you know, when it comes to decluttering, and just when it's not working, it's not working. I don't have to find an explanation for it, you know. I am trying to curate my fragrance collection, and to do that, I have to stop thinking when I bought the fragrance, how much I used it. I just have to think what fragrance I want to keep and what not. If I just eliminate all the filters from my mind, it's actually quite easy to do a declutter. Speaking about that, again, a recent purchase, relatively, let's say, is Coco from L'Herbolario. And mainly it's coconut with yellow flower, and it's quite nice and very, very, very affordable. And I have only the travel size because I used this one. I bought this one mainly to layer with fragrances if I want to add a little bit of a tropical touch. Now, did I use this one for that reason? Absolutely not. I did not. So I'm decluttering it. Next one is L'Herbolario Dahlia. That one I was never sure about because I don't like the opening of this fragrance at all. It's too soapy, almost too natural smelling, like garden, like something green, you know. And I did say that when I bought it, that I bought it to test it and play with it because I'm not sure about it. It's quite an affordable fragrance, and no, it's not working for me. Actually, L'Herbolario is one of these brands that I go to for fresh after the shower fragrance. One exception is Maharis, which is a beautiful fragrance, absolutely stunning and very, very affordable. Talked about that one a lot. They say it's a dupe for Masque Ravageur from Frédéric Malle. I never tested that fragrance, so I can't tell you if it's true or not, but the fragrance itself is absolutely stunning and very, very affordable, so high value for money. This one, however, did not work for me, not even as like an after the shower scent. To me, it's a fragrance that I would like my bathroom to smell like more than myself, if that makes sense. So that is Dahlia. Last two fragrances I decluttered, but I'm not sure about them. So I knew that I don't know if I really want to keep them or not. I'm on the fence about them. And I will tell you why in a minute. So the first one, shocker. Tauba Color from La Collection Privée de Christian Dior. I actually was so sure about this fragrance because I've tested, I have a review on it, that I actually had my bottle engraved. Now, is it that I don't like this fragrance? I actually love it. Love it. But since I bought it, for some reason, I get cumin. When I spray this fragrance on my skin, I get cumin, and I never got that note in this fragrance. It's not even listed in the notes. I don't know what happened. I'm just getting cumin. And since it's definitely a winter fragrance, I said to myself, okay, I will declutter it, so I am taking it off the shelf. So if I remember this fragrance during winter, I will take it out. I will use it and I see if I still get this cumin note. If it persists, it's going. It's not staying in my collection because unfortunately this note I really struggle with in perfumery and I hate it. It's a little bit to my nose like Bion, you know. So that was Tauba Color. The next one, I was really shocked because I just got this fragrance. This is Queer Amethyst from Armani Privé, and I don't know. I just don't know. As I said before, the opening of this fragrance I did not like at all. It's the dry dance that I fell in love with, but again, every time I put it on my skin, I have this urge to take it off, and the first times I used it actually, I didn't get that feeling, but suddenly there's something that is bothering me. It's not the violet. I know violet is a note that I struggle with, and this is a strictly violet fragrance, but I still loved it. So I don't know what it is, but I am giving this fragrance another chance, since it is more of a winter fragrance, to just put it aside and see if I will have the same experience during winter or not. So that was my last fragrance. I actually decluttered more, but since this is the second time filming this fragrance, I had already some that I gifted, that I sold, that I took with me when I went on vacation in Egypt and gifted or used it up, and I just can't remember all of them. So there were more fragrances than the ones that you are seeing. So I decluttered about 24, 27 fragrances. So there are 5 or 6 that are missing. So that was the declutter. If you want to see my fragrance collection after this declutter, where I tried to organize them in an aesthetically pleasing way, I will upload that video after this one. So definitely don't forget to subscribe and also to hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload that video. And if you liked this one, then please like and subscribe. Please tell me in the comments down below if you have the same experience with Tuba Color or Queer Amethyst, and what fragrances did you declutter recently? I really love to see your comments. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time.